much credit in respect to Ohio State. They were very well prepared for that game. I thought Chris had those guys dialed in right from the start. We didn't do as good a job getting our guys ready and prepared. It's something we got to learn. You know, we got a lot of guys playing major minutes for the first time, and that was a great lesson for them. That was a well-drilled, very disciplined team that knows their roles. I just give Chris a lot of credit. I like their team a lot, and you know, I knew we'd have a lot to learn, but you know, I didn't think we would be that far behind at this point. But it looks like we are, and we just got to stick together and go back to work.
That first 5 minutes, did your guys just was it kind of too much just being out there? And
It was basic defensive concepts that we just broke down on. You know, guy driving and driving to the lane, defended, and our weak side help just leaving our man for no reason. And that's why I say, you know, if you play a team that's not really smart or disciplined, they don't see it. But they were ready for it. They saw it immediately. And or you play a team that's not that good, they missed that shot. But they made the shots. And then that was 2 threes that way. And then the next play was coming down in transition on the ball side, throwing ahead for a 3 with we had 3 of our guys on the weak side. So just, you know, I would like to thought we've done a better job preparing, but we haven't. You know, it doesn't matter what you look like in practice, and it matters, you know, when you play against a good team like this, how you execute. And we just have a lot of work to do.
Was there a play or a sequence when you thought it started to get away from you?
Well, you know, I really did think that the first 3 threes were definitely, you know, we respected their 3-point shooting. I mean, we knew they could go into Wesson, but they were 3 plays where they shouldn't even have gotten one off, you know. And then, so I was concerned right away. You know, it was basic defensive concepts, right? And we're supposed to be prepared for that, and you know, we have to, as a staff, take responsibility for that. That's not the 3 consecutive threes, but that start of giving them up the way we did, that was concerning.
Jay, they have a little different dynamic here at point guard with Walker and Carton than they've had the last couple of years. Just what were your impression of those 2 guys?
Like those guys a lot. I think they've got a real good combo there in guys that can play together. When they want to play big, you can play one of them at the point. I think both of them make great decisions on driving and recognizing scoring opportunities, but also not being selfish about it, you know, finding other people. I really like that combo they have there. And, you know, again, that's something early in the game. We just drove the ball and made poor decisions early. Like I said, there are things that we should be prepared for. They were prepared. We got to, as a staff, go back and look at, you know, what are we doing? You know, do we have too much stuff in where the basic concepts we're not really dialed in on?
Were you happy with your team's shot selection tonight?
I didn't think the shots, decision making, you know, which shot selection is a part of that. Like I said, I thought a lot of times we drove it and we got the ball deep in the lane, but we were defended, and we could have gotten somebody else a shot, and we just kind of threw the ball up, you know, lost our composure there. And you know, these guys got to learn to play together. You know, they've got to learn to trust each other. They're good guys. I think they will. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I think they will.
You had some battles with Chris when he was in the Big East, and I know you guys have spoken since he left. But what was it like seeing him on the other bench and talking to him before the game?
Well, I got to see Ohio State's football facilities and get to see this facility. And first thing I said to him was, I'm happy for you, man. It's a great place. He was in a great place before. This is another level. And I am happy for him. He's a really good coach, good guy, did a great job in our league. And these teams play very similar to his Butler teams a lot. The ability to drive the ball, the intelligent post play, good solid physical defense. Very, very similar. And, and they gave us trouble when he was in the Big East, and so we have great respect for him.
I'm curious, when you're scouting, did you watch I assume you watched some of last year just because it's so early in the season.
Yeah.
When you compare Caleb Wesson to last year, to this year, given the weight that he lost, what
Yeah.
do you see as the biggest difference between the two?
I would say, I can't say I watched a lot of last year. I actually watched some of our Butler games, and I watched their 3 games this year, their exhibition game against Cedarville. But I just see mobility. I just see mobility, the ability to face up. You fear him on the perimeter, in their trail, in their secondary break when he trails to shoot threes. You respect that, and you have to play him on the perimeter that way, which opens up post-ups for Young and other guys. So I would say the mobility and his ability to face the basket.
What was the difference in this game facing a Chris Holtman team than his teams at Butler?
Not a lot. I think Wesson was a big difference. I think size and athleticism of their guards, but a lot of the same concepts. I thought their defensive discipline was very similar. Just a little bit bigger, longer, a little more athletic. Very, very similar concepts, though.
Any other questions?
Thank you, guys.